Okay, we're at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. Again, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to our presentation of the new Healthy Rewards program. We are very excited to be presenting this to you all tonight. And it's something that we've worked on really hard over the last several months and put a lot of thought into it. And we think that you all will be as pleased with it as we are. So with that, I'll turn over to Joe, and we'll go ahead and get started. It's all yours, Joe.
Thank you, Sherry, and hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for coming out on a Wednesday night. I know it's a tough night for some people, church and such, but we want to get as much of this information disseminated as possible. And those of you on this call are special to us, and we wanted to give you kind of a preliminary pre-announcement of all this so you could begin to strategize how you're going to handle this with your growth and with your group and such. And as I was sitting here thinking about this presentation, we did one last night to our advisory board. I was thinking about, 3 years has passed. It's been about 3 years since this concept was on a few sheets of paper. Now it's become something that's touched tens of thousands of people's lives, and physically and financially, and it's been an incredible ride, to say the least. And we've received a lot of feedback during the growth process, and a lot of it in 2012. And when I returned to the company last fall, one of the things I wanted to do was begin a process of finding out what the heart of the field really was and how the majority of our PCs felt, what was working, what wasn't, what's on your wish list, that type of thing. And during this process, we gleaned a lot of great information, but we also talked to a number of industry experts. And I wanted to know what the best things were that were happening in the industry today. So if we changed and updated things, I wanted to do it with a lot of information in our pockets. And we also interviewed more than 1,000 of you, and a lot of you participated in that process, and I appreciate that immensely. And it became very apparent about the end of the year what changes and upgrades needed to be made to take 124 to the next level. And we're really excited now because I think a lot of us have looked back rather than looking forward. And I wanted to bring something forth that will take us into the new generation of 124. And here are some of the areas that were pointed out when we interviewed the people and talked to you. One of the things was everybody said, we sure like a more user-friendly website and back office. Those of you who have been with us for a while, you've had an incredible journey along with us with that. Well, we're going to have some answers for that tonight. Most of you said we want a higher income potential. There's a number of people who have been with the company a while, and they just feel that they should be earning a lot more money than they have been. And to be honest, I tend to agree. You wanted more simplicity. The 124 compensation plan has kind of morphed into something that was a lot more complicated than when it started. So we wanted to get back to simplicity. Another thing you said is, I want faster growth. I don't want to wait 24 months. The economy's changed. I've got a house payment. I've lost my job. I need to make money faster. So we've taken that into consideration. Other people said, we need more flexibility. I've got 10 health professionals that would distribute this product, but you don't have flexibility to be able to do that with your pricing. People said, we want more products. We want new ways to promote the products. We're going to talk about that. And you not only wanted more products, you wanted great products, not just average. So that's a big bite to bite off, or a big shoe to bite off. And we began working on these things, and our advisory board threw in all these ideas. And as I told people last night, I've got the yellow pad pages full of notes of the things that I've learned over the previous months. And one thing I'm so proud of is we didn't want to overpromise and underdeliver on any of this. So our staff was literally sworn to secrecy on the things that we've been working on. And they've been behind the scenes. And I am so proud of them because I don't think an iota or an ounce of this is leaked out to the field. So now we're bringing it to you. What I'm going to tell you tonight is something that will be happening. The majority of it will be happening just in the next few weeks. In fact, most of it in February, which is just next month, not February of next year, February of this year. So that's something that we're really, really excited about, is not only we're bringing you these promises, but we're going to be executing on them very quickly. So these things that I'm going to talk about tonight are going to actually, I think, have the ability to change your life in a bigger and better way than ever before. And so first thing I want to talk about, and this will be coming up actually on February 1st, or actually the first part of February, is we're going to have a totally new website. And the nicest thing about it, most of you know, or many of you know, that we've had to use an application service provider for the first 2.5 years of our tenure with this business, and it's been fun and it's been nightmarish at times. But now we've brought all of this in-house. It's programmed all in-house. It'll be managed in-house. It'll have all kinds of incredible new features, but most of all, most importantly, it'll be simple for you to use. It'll be simple for the people you want to enroll to use. It'll be simple for customers to use. It'll have neat features like an e-wallet. So for example, if you have commissions in your back office, you want to use those to purchase your product for the following month or this month, you can use that rather than putting it on your credit card. You're going to be able to order a la carte. What that means, for example, now we have Nature Boost in 2-packs. Well, we're going to let you order it in singles because there's a lot of people say, well, I'd like to try one of these and one of these and one of these. There's going to be real neat group tracking, so you can track and communicate with your groups. So that's something we're really excited about. Not only are the functionality features fantastic, but the simplicity is something I think you're really, really going to enjoy. And again, you'll be seeing that here in about the next 2 weeks. So we'll be shutting down the current site, and I'll let Sherry tell you after at the end of the call when exactly that's going to happen, because we're going to have to transition everything over. So we'll let you know when that's happening, or let you know in advance. The second thing, and this is something I am really excited about, and that is a new compensation program. And I say new because we've added some incredible features that incorporate all that we've learned about in the last 2 years, what the industry experts have told us, and what you've told us. So you're going to have some opportunity to make some serious money, and it'll be in less than 24 months that you can make it. So all these things have been made possible by taking some concepts that I've learned over a lot of years, and some of them are being used right now, and they're not used a lot because a lot of companies, once they've developed their plans, are kind of locked in. So we've had the opportunity to bring a few things to the front burner that maybe some other companies can't do because they're too far down the road. So we've been able to incorporate some things that really give some leverage to our payout system, and the leverage goes to those of you that are working. And the third thing I'm going to talk about is some exciting product innovations, and this is something, again, that when you take these 3 things, the website, the comp program, and the products we're going to talk about, you're going to have a whole new tomorrow sitting in front of you at the end of this call tonight. So we'll go ahead and start with the compensation program, and I'm hoping this is one of the last times I can use the word compensation program. We are now calling it the Healthy Rewards Program, because I think that denotes exactly what it does, and that was something that one of our in-house people came up with, and they said, you know, we need something that really says what it does, and when I heard that, I just really, really liked it. So that's what we're going to call it from now on. Now, you have 3 options when you get involved with 124. First, you can begin as a retail customer, and you simply purchase products at retail prices, and that's it. Now, we have a preferred customer level, and this is what's changed a bit, because all of you are accustomed to the term preferred customer. Well, a preferred customer is now someone that comes into the company, they get on an auto ship program, they will have a back office just like you do, and they will be able to purchase products at a little bit lower price and also bring in or sell retail and gain commissions, so they can actually end up paying for their product by doing this. And we'll have some programs for them too in the coming months that will inspire them to do bigger and better things. And the third thing we have is, third categorization is a member. And all of you that are on this call will be coming into the program as members, and your organizations will stay intact. And what this means is simply you purchase at a discount, you sell at retail just like a preferred customer, but a member can also enroll other preferred customers and members and participates in the various income centers, which I'm going to talk about now. If I get the slide to change. Oh, there it goes.
Got it.
The driver. Okay, again, one of the key points with all this is simplicity. So one of the first simplistic things we've done is made it easy for everybody to know what they got to do. So to be eligible for these income centers, you must have a personal order with a minimum of $50 in commissionable value, which we are moving to CV, which some of you saw that back last year with the Nature Lean program. And for those of you that know a lot about the industry, It's really hard without having a commissionable value to ever stay competitive in the marketplace. For example, if you have the hottest product out there and all of your people want you to distribute it, if the margins aren't correct, you're not going to be able to distribute it. And we've kind of been painted into a corner for the last couple of years because we've paid out just a straight % across the board. So anything we market required a specific profit margin. Now we're going to be able to market some products that can be high volume consumption, high volume sales, and things that people really get excited about and begin to share our concept in 124 more proficiently. So we start out, and these are the kind of the getting started areas here. There's a retail profit, which I think all of you know what that is. There's a retail bonus, which I'll explain in a minute, and this is one of the first areas that we've been able to leverage, like I was talking about. We're able to leverage some methods to be able to pay out more than you might get in a typical retail bonus. Then we have a fast start bonus, and I'll explain that in a minute as well. And then we have, for the people who get more interested, what we call performance bonuses. And we have a team bonus, a silver bonus, a gold bonus, and a platinum bonus. Now, most of you recognize the silver, gold, and platinum. Now, they have been modified a little bit, and you're going to see something a lot more exciting than you saw before as we go through these. So, Sherry, do you have anything to add?
The eligibility for the income centers, the minimum is $50 in CV each month. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's all I have to add there.
Thank you. Let's hit the next slide.
Okay.
Okay, the retail profit, you earned the difference between wholesale and retail price. Okay, that's pretty simple, straightforward. Okay, the retail bonus is where it gets to be a little bit more interesting. This is one of our first leverage points. We'll contribute 5% of the total monthly volume to this bonus pool. Okay, and the calculation is based on the volume of your personal orders, your retail orders, and your preferred customer orders. Notice it excludes the volume of members in your levels, and there's a reason for that, because right now we're concentrating on retail. Okay, so the share values for this retail bonus are calculated by dividing the amount of money in the pool by the total number of shares earned. So this example here, if you did $300, and that's right now with NatureBurst, that would be 5 NatureBursts, that including your purchase, your retail customers, and your preferred customers. So $300 is something that a lot of people, I think, can do fairly easily. So you would win 1 share for doing that. And here's an example below. If the company did $800,000, it'd be $40,000 in that pool or in that pot. If there was 500 shares qualified for, it'd be $80 per share. So if you earn 6 shares, for example, your bonus would be $480. Now, when you get back and we send you this PowerPoint, I want you to really look at the power of what I've just said. You have taken, now right now you get about a 15% retail bonus. Using this leveraging of putting it in a pool like this, all of the people are contributing to the pool, but not everybody is performing enough to take out of the pool. So the share values, if you really figure this out, takes your retail profit from 15% to more like 40% and up. So that's exciting just in and of itself. There's so many people right now that would really like to get out and retail the product with some level of enthusiasm and volume. So next slide, Sherry.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're also incorporating a fast start bonus. Okay, you can have 2 options to enroll a new member. One is pretty much like it's been all the time. It's going to be a $79 entry point, get a canister of NatureBurst, they get their back office, all the things they've pretty much got now. Well, we've had so many people that will order that, and then they come back and they say, you know, I should have ordered A, B, C, and D. I should have ordered a NatureBoost. I should have ordered the NatureLean. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a fast start kit, which is going to be $199, and it will have a sampling of all of the products. So that way a person, when they get started, will actually be able to try all of the products and really get a legitimate faster start. Now, you'll get paid a $50 commission on that for the person you enroll, and there'll also be upline paid on that as well. And I'll show you in just a second how all that works. Okay, when you enroll a member, you begin to be qualified for the following performance bonuses, and this is where it starts to get really, really interesting. Okay, first we have the team bonus. Now, the thing to remember is dynamic compression applies to all these performance bonuses. And one thing that most of you know that have been involved with 124 for a while, especially if you've been in the platinum pool, the dynamic compression has been less than desirable. If you lost one of your people on your platinum qualification, you had to go out and get somebody else, which that's one thing I've looked at for quite some time. I really didn't think was fair. So all these things we're showing include real dynamic compression. So if you have one person on level 1 and 3 on level 2, level 1 quits, then you've got 3 on level 1. So this is extremely powerful. Now you notice here that we're going to pay 3% on 7 levels and 5% on the 5th, or I'm sorry, on the 8th level. So well, some of you probably think, well, wait a minute, you pay 2.5% on 12 levels. Is that, and you're doing the mental math right now. So let me encourage you to listen just a few more minutes, because we've got a twist coming up here that's very, very exciting that I think is going to blow your hat off. So here's an example. If you have a member in your first level, you're in 3% on 3 levels. If you have 3 members in your first level, you're paid on 8 levels. So again, your payout, the depth you're paid out, is contingent on the number of first level members, up to 3. So again, very simple to understand. Next is silver bonus. Yeah, and the silver bonus, again, has changed. So we're going to have to kind of get a few of these nomenclatures shifted around in our minds. The people last night, that once they digested it, they've called me today and emailed me and said they're so excited about this, but you're going to have to readjust your thinking just a little bit. Okay, we're going to put 5% or a total monthly commissionable value into the silver bonus pool, and this bonus is paid out for the enrollment of new members each month. Okay, so if you enroll during the month of February, 3 new preferred customers or members, you get 1 share, 4 you get 2 shares, et cetera, and there's no cap with that. So let's take the example in the dotted line below. It's just company volume 800,000, 5%, 40,000. Say there's 250 shares in the pool, you get $160 per share. If you're in 3 shares, that's another $480 that you put in your bank account. Pretty simple and straightforward. Okay, now it starts to get even more interesting when the next slide comes up.
Gold bonus.
Yeah. Okay, again, we're going to put another 5% in this, plus all of the breakage into the gold bonus pool. And this, for those of you that have been with 124 for a while, the qualifications, if you notice, parallel pretty closely what our old platinum pool was. So if you have 6 members on your first level, have 2 members on that's on your second level, who each have 1. So 6, 2, and 1, that gives you 1 share. If you have 7, 2, 1, that gives you 2. And again, no cap. So take the example, 800,000 again, 5%, let's say 3% of the breakage plus 5% equals 64,000. Total number of shares, 200. So 200 divided into 64,000 is $320 per share. For some of you that won a lot of platinum shares, I think some of you are up 15 or 20 shares. Let's say in this example you earned 5, that's another $1,600 in your checking account. So again, it's beginning to get to be something that's interesting. For many of you, you have an organization already that if you just do a little bit of shifting and a little bit of calling around, I think you're going to get to most of these levels very, very quickly. In fact, one of the things we did is we did actuarials on our current organization to make sure that implementation of these things would help the masses and be beneficial to the masses. And we started putting these together. It was so exciting to see what was happening. In fact, Rick Williams, our VP of Finance, he's a real number and metrics guy, and I was explaining this to him. He's getting it, and what I'm going to show you in the next slide took his hat off his head. He goes, my gosh, how do you do that? What? He was so pumped up, and you'll see why here in a second. So go ahead and do the next slide, Sherry.
There we go, platinum, the new platinum.
Yeah, the new platinum. Okay, we have 3 levels of platinum. There's a 30K, 100K, and a 250K. And this is where it really gets potent. Okay, if you qualify for 30K, that means you have to have 30,000 in your 8 levels, which many of you already have that I see that are on this call. Some of you are a little bit short, so you're probably going to have to get up and work a little bit. Others, I see with the next 60 or 90 days, you're going to be there. And what that means is when you achieve Platinum 30K, we will pay you 1% for infinity down to the next 30K Platinum. So let's go to Platinum 100K. It's the same thing. When you have 100,000, we will pay you down until the next 100K, but we'll pay you 2%. So I'll show you some examples in a minute, but this starts to get really, really interesting. Now the Platinum 250K, same thing. We'll pay you down to the next $250,000 Platinum winner. So the thing to note too at the bottom is each bonus is calculated independently. So if you qualify for the 250, you also earn the 100K and the 30K. And this gets into some serious money. So some of you that said, you know, I've been really excited, I've earned 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 a month, this is going to get you up to the level of much higher than that. I can see a lot of people this year getting in the 10, 20, 30,000 a month range with this program. Okay, let's take the Platinum bonus, 30K. In this particular example, there's not another Platinum 30K until tier 25. So you're paid 1% on 24 tiers or 24 levels. Okay, the next example. Okay, this is the 100K. Okay, so if you look at the example on the right, you're 100K, you get paid 2% all the way down to the next Platinum 100K. In this particular example, your next Platinum 100K doesn't appear until tier or level 50. So as I said earlier, some of you are thinking, oh, 8 levels versus 12, that's no good. Well, my gosh, look at what happens here. Again, we're using these leveraging techniques to take money that typically is paid out kind of willy-nilly, and we're strategizing in the way that we're paying out. So the people that are working stand to make some very, very serious money in the next year or so. Okay, we'll go one more example, and I think you probably already have it figured out, but the third example is the 100K, or I'm sorry, the 250K. So again, another 250K doesn't appear until tier 90. So you're getting paid 1% on down to tier 90. So 90 levels at 1%, and then you're also going to be winning the 100K and the 30K. So again, this is serious money, folks. So I think when you put a pencil to it yourselves, you're going to get pretty excited. I am so pumped about this. In fact, I had an industry expert look at it after we finished it, and he goes, you've done the finest job of taking things and coming up with things, a couple I've not seen, and you've taken some things that we told you and turned them into something that's really powerful. So I think we've got a trend-setting plan here, and again, it's something that's going to make a lot of you very happy in the coming months. So what do we have next? Are we to the end
We've
of
got a recap or a review, and then we'll go through these next few slides, and then when we're finished up, I know everybody's probably going to have some questions, so you can chat those questions to me, and then we'll go through and answer them. I'll read them out to Joe, and we'll answer them the best that we can.
Great. Yeah, and again, in review, there's the retail profit, there's retail bonus, and that's for people that are really retailing a product. It's the first part of our leveraging factors. Then there's a fast start bonus for the $199 kit, and again, that's paid. There's CV paid on that. That all counts toward all these bonus qualifications. So that's a pretty neat feature there, and it gets people to using the products a lot quicker. The performance bonus, there's the team bonus, there's a silver bonus, a new silver bonus, a new gold bonus, a new platinum bonus. So again, we're going to get these slides to you so you'll be able to review them. But I want to just run through them on an informal basis the first time so you kind of get a feel for it and get some questions and answers, and then we can all begin to strategize a little bit better about how this is going to roll out to the thousands versus the hundreds.
And now for some exciting product announcements.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, the first is that this is a mock-up pack, so don't judge by this, but many of you have told us that obviously NatureBurst, we sell a lot of it, and there's a ton of interest and more interest every day. In fact, I told the people on the call last night, I went to a physician friend of mine's office, and this new physician's assistant was asking me what I did, and one of the first things I told her about was NatureBurst, because she's got kids and was talking about not eating well, and so she got all excited about it, and I was sitting there thinking, doggone it, if I had a packet of this NatureBurst, I could give it to her with a piece of paperwork, and I'd have a highly qualified prospect. Now, this is something you may not want to give out to everybody, obviously, because it's not inexpensive, but for qualified contacts, it's a great tool. It's also very convenient. I know these sample packs we've been working with, I just tear the end off. You can put it right in a water bottle, shake up the water bottle. Sandy's been, put them in your purse. So it's convenient, and again, I think it's going to be a great marketing tool. So these will be available in February as well. Okay, the next thing, this is something that I'm really, really excited about. And I was talking about high volume products and high levels of consumption. This is a product that I've worked with for a period of time. Huge, huge acceptance in the professional marketplace. And this is, some of you have already tasted samples of this. This is the best superfood bar on the market, bar none. And this has been used professionally for quite some time. And we are going to give 124 exclusivity for this product for the next few months. And we'll see how we all do with it. But it is, again, something that is so exciting, not only in what it does for children, for adults, for seniors, and it's become a real favorite of athletes as well. So that's something that I'll try to send out some samples to you here in the next couple of weeks and let you taste it. It has all real chocolate in it, and most of you that know me know I am not big on sugar. I'm not big on artificial sweeteners, so it has no sugar, it has no sweeteners, it has no gluten, and one of the nicest thing about it is a phenomenal complement for a weight loss program because it is low glycemic and is also hypoallergenic, which means it will not affect your tummy and keep that inflammation fed. So when you see these things, I mean, you're going to have to keep them away from the kids because
That's impossible.
Really, yeah, I just sent some to Sherry and her family. What, did you eat them yet?
My 10-year-old and 11-year-old insisted on having them in their backpack for their snacks today, and then the teachers wanted to see what they were eating, and usually they want like Nutter Butters or something not healthy. So yeah, they're great.
Yeah, and this is something that I think you're going to see has multiple applications, and one we just talked about, and that is I've used this bar as a business card, and it's brought me literally millions of dollars in business over the last 2 or 3 years because of the people inquiring about it. One of the things we did with it that we will also be able to do is we've done some pretty nice fundraising programs. Those of you that are familiar with the other programs, they'll sell donuts or cookies or something that's not very healthy. We sold, for example, last year thousands of these in our son's youth missions program, and we simply put a little card in each box, and when the people bought them, they knew that when they bought more of these or more of any of the other products, then there would be an ongoing contribution going to the church. And we did the same thing with a number of high schools and some civic groups. Very successful. So we'll roll out the A, B's, and C's and how to do that. And I'm sure some of you already have ideas that might even be better than what we already have, but this is a phenomenal product for getting it into people's hands. And again, it is a walking billboard when people look at what's in it, and they can't believe how good it tastes and how good it makes you feel. So I am so excited about that. And again, we'll have our first batch in the warehouse, probably go pretty quick, and I'm thinking in probably about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, when you heat it up for 19 seconds, it tastes just like a brownie. It's amazing. Can't beat it.
You can't.
And our next slide. Bulk orders and fundraising.
Yeah, this is another thing that many of you heard the conference call a while back with a pediatrician, and as you may know, we have quite a number of health professionals involved with 124, and a lot of them would like to distribute this product, especially the Nature Burst and the Nature Lean, out of their offices, but it's a little bit tough to pay their rent with the old margins of just being a member and getting a small discount. So when you look at the current plan and the features to that, it's fantastic. It really ups the scale and ups their ability to do that. But secondly, what you can do is we will be making some of our products available in bulk. For example, with the Nature Burst, if you buy in a case of 12, there'll be a reduced price. Commissionable value will be reduced as well. However, as I've told people, we've been working with $60 circles, and what I mean by that is if you draw out your organization, most of you probably have a $60 purchase in each of those circles. Well, all these things that I'm talking about, make those circles go far beyond 60. And when you get into doing things like bulk orders, I foresee a lot of those circles going from 60 into the hundreds and some into the thousands. So when you look at it, an 8-tier or 8-level organization, and then you take the platinum bonus on top of that, again, we're talking some serious income here for most of you. But it opens the door. We've got personal trainers, we've got juice bars, we've got professional athletes that really love these products. So this gives them the ability to be able to distribute the product to their patients, to their clients, and be able to make a legitimate commission off of them. But at the same time, you'll get credit. And as you see, if you go down a few levels in your group and you get the geometric progression going, again, those circles go from 60 to the hundreds or into the thousands, then the income level picks up exponentially as well. And so we'll have more details to follow on this, but this is something that's going to be implemented pretty quickly as well.
That sums up the slideshow presentation. And so I think we've got too many attendees to open it up for everybody. If you guys want to chat a question, that would be great. And I'll read them off to Joe here. Let's see, we've got our first one. Okay. Greg. Joe, Greg asks, actually, will the waiting list green ticket gold rush scheme still be used? And that answer to that, Greg, is no. There will no longer be a waiting list. Your waiting list will be saved for you. It'll be in your back office as a prospect list. It'll be open enrollment. There will be no more requiring a green ticket, only getting to bring in one a month, and then waiting for the gold rush to bring in, the rest of your people. Joe, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I was just thinking last night when we announced that 2 or 3 of the people on the call they came unglued.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah, a lot of you, this gives you the ability to not only enroll as many people as want to get in, but additionally, it gives you the ability to do better placement and to really grow an organization that will provide longevity for you. Because if you force things, whether it be a binary, some of the other things that have been out there, and even 124 had some of those features, to be honest, and this is so much more fair and so much more exciting and gives you the ability to really grow a business that could last for you and your grandkids, and that's really what our goal is. When we all sat down and did this, we just thought, we're not going to drive out of the rearview mirror. We're going to take this thing to where today is and where today should be, and make 124 part of a growing group of companies in this industry.
Yes, so in answer, Greg, to the second part, yes, you can go further than 24 months, and Ken says, booyah.
Hoo-yah.
And let's see, we've got Lviv asks if the dial tracking will still be used, and no, there will no longer be gauges in the back office. Those are going away with the new back office.
See how many woohoos you get on that one.
Yep. Deb's Deb's excited, and I think everybody's excited about that. We're going to open the doors.
Yeah, the cool thing now is your back office is going to be a lot more robust than it has been. So you're going to be able to do some things in your back office as far as tracking and communicating with your group more so than you ever were able to before. And as we look at it now, as we're doing all the final beta testing, it is so cool. I wish we had had this a year ago.
Let's see. Jim has a question, and he's asking about, are we still paying out 50% of company revenue to the PCs? The second question, where does all the company breakage go? All the company breakage goes into the gold bonus now. So that's the, basically, if you're going to compare, it's the old platinum. So it's 5% plus the breakage will go into the gold. And will our new office use our old username and password? We don't store passwords, so it will have a new username, but you'll be prompted at login to start to enter your new password. And you're still going to have the same replicated site name. So that's not changing. So Joe, I'll let you answer the first part of that question on the CV as well.
Oh yeah, I just didn't know if we were going to miss it, and I didn't want to miss answering that. Yeah, the To answer about the 50%, one of the things that happens when you begin using commissionable value is in the flexibility. The problem with always paying out 50% across the board is it locks you into a specific markup for all of your products. So you may have something like these Nature Lean bars. It's a very low margin, to be very, very candid. There's no way paying out a 50% bonus that we would be able to support even having that product. But the other side of it is if we take it in on a lower margin, you make it up in volume. And I know that might sound funny to some, but if you sell 10 boxes of Nature Lean bars and you sell 2 canisters of Nature Lean, then I'd rather sell the 10 boxes of Nature Lean bars. So what we're trying to do is get into the real world of what direct sales offers. And I don't ever want to be in a position, I told the staff this months ago, that if we have one of you step forward and has the best products and sliced bread, and I look at it, I want the latitude to be able to offer it to you, and I don't want price to be a prohibition for that. And without doing a CV, we'll always be painted into that corner of not being able to offer products at competitive pricing. And so to always offer 50%, in many cases we'd have to mark the products up to a point where a person looks at the retail price and they go, are you kidding me? That's a joke. So I don't want to get into the fakey world of MLM where everybody says, yeah, we pay 50%, but they've doubled the traditional value or the marketable value of the product. So we're going to try to keep it as close to that as possible. We've got a little bit of slush in this as we're starting it out, but there's a lot of things that we have on the horizon, and that we're going to shoot to have that number as close as we can in the coming months. So the breakage, again, as Sherry said, goes into the gold. We do not keep it.
Labib asks if there will still be a comp video on the site, and if so, when will they be available?
Yeah, we're working on that pretty much as we speak. In fact, we got a couple of people that have heard these first couple of presentations that are already offering help. So we'll have a comp plan video ASAP. It'll be during the month of February, and we'll roll out the slideshows and some of the more preliminary things faster than that, but we've got a lot on our docket here in the next 60 days. It's all exciting stuff too, some things that I'm not even mentioning tonight because I really don't want to say anything yet, but this, I think, this doesn't get you excited, I'm going to bring my blood pressure meter over and talk to you.
Okay, Carlin asks if they have to requalify or start over. I think Carlin, I think what you're asking is, I mean, you have to meet the new qualifications, but you don't have to start over. I mean, your team is going to be there. You'll see your existing team in your back office. The team follows your line of referral. So your first level will be the people that you personally referred. Basically, what you'd see in your green data viewer, and then in your golds. So all of your golds that you brought in the gold rush will be your first level, etc. And they're the people they brought in. So it does all follow the referrer. Another question, she wants to have a tasting party, which is a great idea for the bars. I think that's a really neat idea. And so, yes, you do start from where you were, and then you make product purchases however you want to in your back office. And remember, with the retail profit bonus, which I'll put up right here, your personal purchases count towards that bonus. So if your personal purchases add up to earn $300 in CV, you just earned 1 share, and then you can combine that with whatever is ordered in your retail cart on your website and whatever your preferred customers are ordering, and you can get up to the share values quickly. It's 300, 600 CV increments. So, and then of course the next question was, is there a retail for the customer and a wholesale price for the distributor? Yes.
Yes, and the other thing I was going to encourage people to do too is the Gold Rush starts tomorrow. Don't stall and go dead on doing or participating in the Gold Rush, because as Sherry said, all these people are going to go into your organization as referrals, and when they purchase product in February, it's all going to get plugged into this. So don't stop selling and enrolling because it's changing, because all of these things will just flow right into the new program.
Yeah, and Carlin, also the question about what is a customer retail price. the retail, the pricing on the existing products is staying the same. So that's not really, we're not, on the newer products, we'll be announcing that in the next day or two. We'll have a price list for everybody. It'll have the retail, the wholesale, and the CV, so everybody will have access to that. And we're going to be putting that out here really quickly next day or so. So let's see, Joe. Bulk prices, we're almost done. Michelle was asking about the bulk prices, Joe. We're almost done with those as well. So we're doing the final review on that. I think that we'll probably announce mostly at the same time, right, Joe?
Yes, yes, we will.
Okay, all right. So that'll all be together in one easy sheet. Let's see. Jim was asking about the leaders portal on the new platform. That's a Rick question. I'll find out, but I believe so. I don't know. He's got that kind of wired into the Multisoft database. I don't know what's required for him to wire it into the new. So, Jim, I'll have to get back with you on that one. Let's see. Is there a possibility of making mini bars to pass out? Michelle is asking.
Maybe sometime in the future. What I did, when we did, for example, the church conference, we cut up bars and just put them on a nice serving tray and toothpicks and did them that way. So in the interim, that's a good way of getting samples out there. Is you can get one of those, Sandy, when she's giving samples, has one of those things with a dome, clear lid on it, looks very pretty, and you pull it off and stick one with a toothpick and try it. So that's one way if you have tasting parties. It would be really, really good to you make one bar go a long way.
Yep. I think I missed one question to Carlin's. It's important. What is required to restart? If you're asking about reactivations, we're pulling over the entire tree, if you will, into the new system. We're not going to compress anybody out, even if they're inactive accounts. So if you have people that want to get re-engaged, it'll be similar to what we've done for reactivations in the past. I mean, they'll still be there, and we'll hold those. I'm not sure right now if it's going to be 60 days. We've got to decide that, but they will be there when we come live. And just so y'all know, we're going to take the existing back office down at midnight on January 31st. That's midnight EST time. And after that point, we're not going to be able to take any, we do, a lot of times we'll do backdated orders, first, second, and third. We won't be able to do backdated orders, any of that to qualify anybody for January commissions if they happen to miss the window. So we're going to take everything down January 31st, and then we're not going to be able to make any changes to anything until we come back up live. And January 31st is a Thursday, so we'll be back up live on the following Monday, which is the 4th, at 10 a.m. with the new back office. So we'll be down that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do the changeover. And then at that time, everybody can go in and place their orders and get their new password. The only maintenance item that you all will need to do is log in and is change your password. Everything else will be there. So, and let's see, we've got here, Ken asks, what will be the cost for a new person to enroll? Joe, I'll let you take that.
Yeah, there'll be two options. One is $79, and the other is the $199 Fast Start kit, which it includes all of the products, so they'll get to try those, and that's the one with the $50 bonus as well. The other thing about what you were just talking about, Sherry, I thought that was interesting. We were talking to Rick the other day. He says, well, I hope everybody knows in February that and I hope they don't mind. It's kind of like a new house. There might be a drop cloth on one of the bedroom floors and one of the walls that needs a little bit of spackling.
Right.
So as we roll this out in February, I'm sure there'll be some things that we need to look at. But that is one of the coolest things about having it in-house is we have multiple people on it. Sherry and I have already experienced, light speed service. You tell them something's going on, and it's fixed. If not immediately, by the next morning you wake up, you look at it, it's fixed. So it's just, I feel like I'm in dreamland.
Yeah, it is great. Um, let's see here. How will the system identify the difference between a PC and a member if they are both placing orders? We'll have them flagged. That's going to be an internal uh, item. So for purposes of the bonus pools, we'll have to have them flagged to know if they're a PC or a member. And then also your PCs will be on your first level as well, kind of like your PCs, your retail customers, and your first level team members. And then we've got a couple questions about this PowerPoint. I'll be sending this out to everyone on the call and as a PDF when we're done, so that you guys can look it over and kind of digest it a little bit better and take maybe a pen to it and figure it out. So that will be, I'll send it to the list of attendees that we've got here, definitely.
Yeah, and one of the things that I know a few of you have talked to me about, and that is to make something like this that's a webinar that this isn't really set up to be a formal webinar. It's, as Sherry said, we wanted to do something informal with you, but we can make this thing really sing here in the next couple of weeks by taking this information and putting it more in a marketing venue than it is now. So all of that will be coming, and we've got tons of people working on it and a lot of volunteers as well, which we deeply appreciate.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, we'll be doing some of this stuff in phases. Joe, announcements to the field in general. We wanted to make sure that we had a meeting with the advisory board last night, and then we wanted to do this tonight with the leaders. And I think, what do you have scheduled as far as the formal announcement to the field, Joe?
I'm going to be formally announcing tomorrow night on the national conference call, and we also have a series of emails that are going to be going out, and as we get more and more of this set up, and the new site obviously is going to be a real pivotal part of getting the information to everyone very effectively and efficiently, but we wanted you, especially the leaders, to kind of, again, have an idea what's going on, get excited about it, and strategize, because there's some strategies you can work here that could make the next couple of months very valuable for you. So we want to give you a heads up first. So we've got a whole line of communication. I'm open to any of your suggestions. Everybody, I'm looking at the people on this call, and there's a lot of you on here, which is really cool. But just feel free to contact us, and we will take your suggestions into consideration. As a matter of fact, somebody said, you know, you guys are really genius. You know, this is incredible. And said, you know, that's given us a lot of license, because the fact of the matter is all we've really done is listened very, very closely, mostly to all of you. And that and a good old yellow pad can make you a genius pretty quickly. So we've taken, we think, most of what you wanted. We've analyzed it using the metrics that we have for the last 2.5 years, and we've looked at it and said, you know something, this is something that helps the majority of people, not just in a small way, but many of you in a very big way. And the ones that are feeling like, well, I got to get started again, well, it's still there, and it's there bigger than ever. So my deepest appreciation to all of you. Again, I'm seeing some of these names on this call list, and it's an emotional moment for me, so thanks, guys.
Let's see, a couple more questions, and then I think if it's okay, it might be a little echoey, but I'd like to open it up, unmute everybody for a few minutes, if that's okay, just to say goodnight and maybe give you some kudos, Joe, some woohoos. Logging into the new office, Jim Christie was asking, you know, what they're going to need. Remember, everybody's going to have the same replicated site. So if they go to their replicated site, they're going to still see a login button. They're going to click on the login button, and they're going to enter their current username, the one that they would have logged in with on the old site, and then they're going to be prompted to do a password reset at that time. So it should be seamless for them. You know, if they're re-engaging or reactivating, that's just like it's always been. If somebody's forgotten their username, password, they'll just contact support, do a ticket, and we'll help them through that. So this is it should be, you know, other than like going to the site and saying, wow, it looks great, it'll be seamless for them. Deborah was asking about upgrade path for PC to become a member. that's definitely on the phase 2 list because we want everybody to be able to upgrade if they want. Um, so there's some logistics things there for the first, for the first few weeks. We'll be okay because they'll be making the decision. Everybody's going to come in as a member, and people that come in as a PC will hopefully be okay with being a PC for a couple weeks until we can get that worked out. But that's a definite, Deborah, and that's something that I wanted for a long time in our current system, but it was just impossible. So that's on my that's a hot button for me as well. So I think that's everything. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, okay?